Police in Storm Lake say they caught a man selling stolen goods after he tried to sell some of those goods back to their owner. In a post on their Facebook page, Storm Lake police say their officers executed several search warrants on Wednesday night into Thursday morning across that community to recover stolen property linked to a series of burglaries since late October. Police say one of the suspects began sending messages to a victim of one of the burglaries, offering to sell him his own property back. Police say that victim then contacted them immediately, and they took over communicating with the seller, setting up a sting that resulted in an arrest. Police haven't identified the suspect or told us what charges he faces.